So I've been on streams recently, yeah, and I see a comment this morning saying this guy. Well, he said top right is toxic positive. That was on someone else's stream, innit? So big up hooks. And he said this guy is toxic positive. So instead of me, I didn't really know. I don't even know what that means. But instead of me responding to it or whatever, I just thought, you know what? Let me make a video on it because I actually don't know what that means. But what I'm assuming it means is I'm too positive for the Arsenal, for the club, and it's becoming toxic. I'm assuming that's what I can gather from that. So, how man would actually respond to that is, listen. I was brought up in the hybrid days, in the glory days of Arsenal. You know what I'm saying? I know like where we've been. A lot of these fans nowadays haven't seen the glory days of Arsenal, so I understand why they're in the. Oh yeah, we need to win because of what's happening now. But I grew up in the glory days. My first game was at Highbury. You know what I'm saying? I grew up in that era. Like, would you know about teletext? You know what I'm saying? Like, you couldn't. There was no football games on TV like that. Like, if your team went on TV, you're not watching it. You're not seeing the game until match of the day. Like, you got to check teletext for the result. Man was checking teletext, and man knew every week when I put it on. If Arsenal went on TV, if I put it on, I knew who was gonna win. You just put teletext. You check the scores. 4-1, 3-0, 2-0. You just every time you checked it, you knew Arsenal was going to win. You weren't really bothered. You just knew that you were waiting for match of the day. But you just teletext for the scores. It might update live. What do you not know about teletext? You see me, I'm from like a point where if you're like a certain point in football, like you've got more credentials to say certain things. Yeah, I feel like we're getting a lot of people are getting confused with like because you've got a big following online. Like for example, when I chat to Jolien Lescott, that's my dad. Big up Jolien, big up Jody Morris, big up them man. If I chat to them about football, I feel like what they say has got a little bit more weight because they've been there and done it. You see what I'm saying? I'm one of them guys that I feel like I'm chatting to Joe, even if I don't agree with them. If I don't agree with Lescott about something, man, going back and forth on the phone about it, I feel like what you're saying holds a little bit more weight than what a guy that's got a big following online says if he's just a guy sitting behind a computer. Like everyone's got like their opinion and their opinion matters because you're a human being and your opinion, you can state your opinion. Everyone's got a right to it. I understand that. But me, I'm old school. I feel like if you've gone through the process and managed to get to that level, you hold a more weight. That's simple as that to me. Like I don't see it as anything else. I don't care if you're a guy that sits online and talks online. I feel like you got more weight. Another thing as well is a lot of these guys don't go to games, so there's a lot of things that you don't see or you don't probably don't understand. Like match going fans will see a lot of things. Like I was talking the other day to someone. And they were saying to me, "I know Bear players better than Theo Walcott." Like I'm talking about guys that didn't make it around and Bear play. And I was thinking, Bear players better than Theo Walcott. Like how does that even make sense? Like if you actually go to games and watch the warm up alone, you go to games. You'll see a man that you think is rubbish. You know what I'm saying? Like you'll see a man like you know back in the day, Ludzny or Stepanovs or something. Them man there, someone will ping them a ball from 40 yards, they'll chest it up on their shoulder, little flick of the back heel, pull it, volley it, top corner with their left foot. Like they'll do stuff like that. You'll get man that you think are crap, and you'll see them live in the flesh, like warm up and the things that they're doing on the warm up, and you'll realize, raw, like football's the only sport in the world where people sitting at home think they can do better than their players on the pitch. Like you don't hear man sitting at home saying, "Oh, I can beat up Floyd Mayweather. Oh, I can beat John Jones in a fight. Oh, I'm better than Tiger Woods." Football's the only sport in the world where man at home think they can do better than the football players. The only sport. Since when do you think I'll beat Lewis Hamilton in a race? No one thinks that. Man are sitting at home with their feet up, long toenails out, fat, with cookies, tomato ketchup there, talking about, oh, yeah, bruv, Declan Rice is shit. Oh, bruv. Oh, bruv, yeah, bruv, you can't even turn that. Bruv, you can't even sit up. Man, football's the most disrespected sport, thinking that you can just go there and do it. Bruv, you see, like, I don't know, man. I'm one of them guys that I'm like, we grew up playing football. At least like on man's channel, I put up football challenges and stuff like that. Like I'm a dribbler. I'm a person that people that I play with, like man, have played at high level. I'm a dribbler. I dribble with the ball. I'm not really a shooter. I don't shoot from distance like that. That's not my game. You know what I'm saying? I'm more of a Salah playing that position or striker. You know what I'm saying? But at least I put up football challenges and put things up so people can judge and address things. Like, everyone that's just talking online is just talking online. Like, what are your credentials? I need to know what your credentials are. Do you know what I'm saying? Because man, you see me, yes, man's playing football, but also I have man's coaching badges as well. When man was doing my coaching badges, me and my cousin Remy, big up Remy Nelson, another brilliant football player that obviously didn't make it because of circumstances, but when he talks, it has a little bit more weight to it because of the level of football that he's at. That's just how it works. All my family have grown up in football. So a lot of them, like my uncles and that, they were level of pros. Like a lot of them were England schoolboys and like, do you know what I'm saying? Half of my family, some of them made it. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them are black. Jermaine obviously made it as a top player. But I'm talking about other members apart from ones that actually made it. I'm saying a lot of them, they're football fanatics. They've been in the football. So when certain people talk, they hold a little bit more weight to me. I don't understand. Like, you got, like, man used to see players that you know are good and like people like Nicholas Axford. You know what I'm saying? Like, people wouldn't even know this stuff. Like, him and, like, I used to play a year or 2 years above in school, innit? And him and Mark Noble used to play for a school called Royal Docks. They were a couple years older than me. But I'm playing years above in my school. So, well, Nicholas Axford was meant to be one of the best West Ham players. If he didn't break both his legs, he would have been the superstar West Ham. It's only because of his injuries why Mark Noble got to where he got. Not to say that Mark Noble obviously got there because he was obviously talented and worked hard, but there's other factors that make football players not make it. Do you know what I'm saying? Man like Ishmael de Montagnac and Junior Conadu and Richie Eames. You know what I'm saying? These men there that are like serious football players that were like everyone in the football world would know. Is even man like Izzy, my bedroom Izzy, you got Simon Ford, you got John Fortune. These are man that man know. These guys were the pros. Izzy didn't get onto the youngest West Ham debutant because of Paul Scholes and kept the ball. He was on the sideline about to come on. So when Izzy's on the phone talking to me, telling me about when Ian Wright came to West Ham or when Jermaine Defoe was playing and they had the finishing drill and it was one of the best finishing drills they've ever seen at West Ham and stuff like that. It holds 10 times more weight than a man online talking about this guy's toxic positive. What are you talking about? I'm from the glory days. I remember the hard work that it takes to become a football player. Football player is not easy to make. Otherwise, everyone would do it. I don't care about your followings online. Man are online talking with zero credentials. Do you know how hard it is as Arteta and the club these men are giving up their life. Of course, it's something that they want to do, but they're giving up everything to get to where they got to get to. Even big up Daps as well from Never a Foul. Big up Kaz as well, but big up Daps is one of them man that when he talks, yeah, he goes to games. He doesn't even live in Manchester. I'm not gonna say where he lives, but he goes to games. So you see, there's things that he will see that other people don't see. When you go to games, you just get a different experience. That's the first time I realized why Odegaard was captain. When we were on a bad run, I realized why Odegaard was captain when I went to the game. Did you see him before the game? What he's doing after the game, during the game, half times? You see, he's the one that's going there doing this, doing that, going over to Arteta. They're having little conversations. Then he's going there, saying what he thinks, saying what they think. I've seen that. These men that are online now talking. You got Twitter experts. Yeah, they're gonna tweet a little bit because they got a couple of good diagrams that look good from Photoshop, and they've managed to they know about a few editing skills and they talk a half a bit of sense. So all of a sudden they're experts. Don't work like that to me. That's not how it works to me. That's not what it is for me. I don't understand like people thinking that like even with this Arteta and Arsenal thing right now with what everyone's saying about him and oh yeah they're getting a bit they're not too sure. Like, it depends on like I say it depends on who's talking to me as well. Like depending on who's talking to me depends on my response and conversations we're having. If you're a guy that you just because you think you know football names and you know some names and you know some positions and like, oh yeah, you know the six and you know the eight, and you start talking all these buzzwords and that. Yeah, I listen to what you say because you know about football. You talk about football, but there's another level to me. Like, have you really been in the field and tried your best to go and do some badges or anything like that? Because man was going, I was going there for, was it? I think it's like 2 months I had to go there for every morning. Then you get a week off to go and do your thing. Then you go back there. Me and Remy going there every day, giving up your life for 2 months on the pitch, having to train all these academy kids. Man like Michael Hector, man used to go to his trials when he was growing up. That's my brother. Man used to go to these trials. You know how much graft that these men have got to put in. You got to drive all over the country, then perform after you've been driving for 4 hours in the morning, and you got still got to make it. Then you might not make it. Then you got to pick yourself up again, go to a different trial. So when Michael's talking to me, when Hector's talking to me, and he's in Jamaica because they're playing in the Copa America, or he's with them, man, or he's doing a little something. When he's talking to me about football, it holds more weight. That's how I see it. It holds a little bit more weight to me. Man are online just saying, yeah, 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 because oh yeah, sack Arteta because yeah, he hasn't won a league. Or yeah, yeah, Martinelli's crap. Or yeah, yeah, Havertz is shit. That's all well and good, but I need a bit more basis. Me personally, that's how I see things. I've come from a credential era where what you say, you got to stand on it and mean what you say. And if you don't mean what you say, you get G checked for it. That's my error. You can't tell a man to just shut up and not expect a man to act on it. That's my error. That's what man's been through. That's what we're on. That's what we're on. If you're gonna call a man not so good, I want to start seeing you put up some football challenges. All you got to do is just book a pitch and just shoot at the goal or something. I want to see it. I want to start seeing stuff. Or if you think you're a better analyst or you're a better manager than Arteta, you're not going to be able to go and prove that you're a better manager. But I want to see you come up with some things to show me what you're saying. I don't want to just start seeing you. You're sitting online, man. Are sitting online. Arteta shit, get him out. That's all well and good to get views. Cool, it's a views thing, isn't it? Cool, you're gonna get views like that. But my thing is credentials, isn't it? So I'm gonna always start G checking credentials. That's my thing. Man are just online, just talking, talking, talking. So this toxic positive comment, yeah, like I feel like it's like I don't really know what it means. Like I'm not toxic positive. You know what I'm saying? I know what it takes for Arsenal to get back where they need to get to. I've seen the glory days. I remember us being for the last few years being eighth, 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 and all of that crap. Everyone talking about Arteta's failing. Arteta. We've been through this already when we got bullied at Brentford. Got bullied to pieces. Everyone's saying, "Oh, these men are never gonna make it work." Arteta's this, Arteta's that. Now we're challenging. Now you want to sack him when we're challenging. How does that make sense? Now we're back at the top table. Oh yeah, let's get rid of him now because we're at the top table now. Oh, he's improved us, so let's get rid of him when he's improved us. How does that make sense? We're getting back to the top table. Now you want to get rid of a man that's got us back to the top. How does that make sense? Because he hasn't got us over the line. He hasn't got us over the line yet. How do you know? Can you tell the future? Yeah, but this season I don't like the football. Who cares whether you like the football or not? You're talking about I don't like the football. When we was playing brilliant football every week, we didn't win the league either. Oh, but he didn't buy us a striker. He's going to buy a striker. Havertz confused the situation. Havertz was scoring goals every other game. So obviously it made him think, hold on, do I actually need to go and buy another 100 and something million pound striker? And this season you found out maybe I do. So he's gonna do that. Let him address the issues. It's just so easy to sit online and just talk instead of actually understanding what's actually going on with the club. Like, why would you decide that? Oh yeah, I'm gonna go and get rid of this guy and bring some other. I remember guys wanted Allegri and all that. Remember when they wanted Allegri? I remember guys before I used to watch Arsenal Fan TV, and man used to say, "I want Xhaka, I want Lacazette." Them man, they actually came to our club and we're not good enough. But because you said it online, yeah, it just fades away into the distance. Now you don't have to be held by your standards. I remember man was saying, yeah, we need to get Lacazette. Lacazette's the striker we need. We got Lacazette. Lacazette wasn't good enough, but it becomes a Wenger problem. Oh, why did you buy a striker that can't score goals? Because your video when you wanted Lacazette was a year ago. No one even remembers that you asked for Lacazette. But that's the same thing. You got to stand on business. That's your credentials. You asked for Lacazette. If I say tomorrow, I want to sack Arteta, then I expect when Arteta wins the league that I was wrong. You got to say you was wrong, innit? So which means that, does that mean that if I say I want to keep Arteta and he ends up winning the league, maybe not this season, next season or whatever, does that mean I was right and you was wrong? Cool. And does that mean I know more about football than you? What does it mean? There's got to be something. Doesn't mean I know more than you, but it means that you were wrong. So sometimes when you're like solidly wrong, there's got to be something that shows that, oh, okay, humble yourself. You got to humble yourself, innit? Man, you got to humble yourself. Man are not humble when they get something wrong. Like, they just say, oh, yeah, you know what, I was wrong. Yeah, I'll to prove my point. Okay, that's all I wanted. All I wanted was Arteta to prove his point. Yeah, he showed me that he can do it. Okay, cool. And then move on to the next topic. Nah, that ain't happening with me. You're not moving on to the next topic. I'll talk about you said Arteta out for about 5 years. If Arteta proves his point, all the guys that were saying Arteta out, I'm going to be like, I'm going to bring up you as Arteta out every single time. Every time we talk. Every time. You can't just leave it like that. You get me? You think a man can walk through my house with his shoes on? I tell him to take it off. Why are you walking through with my shoes on? Every time you come, I'm gonna say, why did you walk? I'm gonna talk about that time that you walked through my shoes. Why do you think it's okay that you could have walked through with your shoes on my nice cream carpet? Oh yeah, no, my bad, my bad. Yeah, you're bad, but why did you do it? You get me? Every time anyone that says I'll take it out or I'm toxic positive, yeah, I'm gonna bring it up every time. Be prepared. I'm gonna bring it up every single time. Online guys talking about, yeah, this guy this and this guy shit and that guy. Please, man. Come on, bruv.